This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Friday, the 23rd day of July in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley, thanking you for joining us. And here's what we're tracking tonight. The government of Guyana is assessing new ways to increase vaccinations against COVID-19, while cautiously reopening the country. That's according to the President Irfan Ali. Among the proposals being examined is for social gatherings and special venues to only allow persons who are fully vaccinated against COVID.
So, if you want to go to Palm Tours, you want to go to the movies, you want to go to these places, then you have to be vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, then you will have to wait a bit.
The president stressed that the pandemic is not a joke and that at times necessary actions and decisions must be made to ensure that citizens are protected. The president also added that the measures that are being put in place are as balanced as possible to ensure protection and to bring some form of normality.
Pandemic, this is not a joke. And you have to get tough sometimes. You have to get tough sometimes. I don't know if you have seen it, I've seen some of the guidelines from the private sector. Now, we all have democratic rights and responsibilities. But if you took the vaccine, if my friend here took the vaccine, and I understand different people have different positions. My friend took this vaccine to protect himself and his family. And Azima decides she is not taking the vaccine. What gives her the right to put my friend at risk? So whatever measure we bring in place has to be a measure that brings balance to the equation.
The president added that the measures that are being put in place are as balanced as possible to ensure protection and to bring some form of normality. Already some CARICOM member states are putting vaccine requirements in place for visitors. Guyana is also likely to move in that direction, but not at this time.
And this is one of the consequences of vaccine inequality. Because if you're to say that only vaccinated people can now travel, then those developing countries that never had the opportunity to get access even to the vaccine are automatically left out of the equation. So that is why the PCR has to remain in place for some time, until there is some level of equity.
Guyana has not put a vaccination requirement in place for visitors, but all incoming passengers are required to provide a negative COVID-19 PCR test result. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health, in an effort to get more persons vaccinated against the virus, has started a house-to-house vaccination drive. This weekend, medical officials are expected to visit a number of communities in an effort to get persons vaccinated against the virus. More news coming up in just a moment.
What's our purpose? Together we rise. For our community, our customer, and our country. Our promises: strengthen our community, reliably connect our customers, innovate for all in our country. Together we rise.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
This is John.
Hey babes, what's for dinner?
I didn't cook today, honey. There's bread in the fridge. Okay, babes. Alright, guys. Alright. So, hey, man, look at your. Don't let me get you cleaned up. Come. Baby girl, clean up these things. Oh, what's it your.
John is unbuttered because he has running water. Pay your water bill on time and be unbuttered like John.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL.
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
Mobil I is more than oil. It's many oils. It transforms at the molecular level. When cold, it's thicker than honey. When hot, it's thinner than water. Mobil I adapts and readapts to last longer. 16,000 kilometers between oil changes. That's your engine evolved.
Sol Guyana is the authorized distributor of Mobil lubricants.
Let GBTI make your dreams of owning a home a reality. Buy or build your home with us. Let us help you to completely outfit your home and make it move-in ready. Need to purchase land? We finance that too. Benefit from our 10% down payment and interest rates as low as 4.25%. Calculated on the reducing balance with up to 30 years to repay. Switch your mortgage to us and learn about benefiting from the equity in your home. Invest wisely. Apply online or call your branch to schedule an appointment. GBTI. We see Guyana through your eyes.
Let's tell you now that Education Minister Priya Manik Chand is encouraging parents and teachers to get vaccinated, which she believes could lead to the safe reopening of schools. Schools across the country have been closed for over a year because of the COVID-19 pandemic. During the distribution of the cash grant for public school students in Linden on Thursday, Minister Manik Chand made it clear that a safe reopening of schools for face-to-face learning will be heavily dependent on the vaccination numbers in the country. She admitted that the virtual teaching efforts have not been as successful as the ministry was hoping. Officials have noticed a considerable decline in the performance of Guyanese students. The education minister warned that the more students are away from the classroom, the longer they will suffer.
Linden, y'all are worrying me. You're not taking your vaccine. And if you don't take this vaccine, I can't open schools. And if we don't open schools, your children will suffer. All these fancy dreams we had for what they could be when they grow up will get affected. It's one of the realities of the times we're living in. You are their only shield.
Linden is located in Region 10, which has the lowest vaccination rate in the country. Manik Chand said when the first mock exam was written for the National Grade 6 assessment, more than 2,600 Grade 6 students did not show up to write the exams, and the results for those who did are worrying. She told parents that it is known that children are not receiving the same level of education at home as they would have been receiving in the classroom. The minister complained that parents are exposing their children once they do not take the vaccine. Further, she said the government of Guyana will be procuring vaccines approved for children between the ages of 12 to 17, and she encouraged parents that when those doses arrive, the children be vaccinated against COVID-19. Welcome back. Let's turn now to the world of politics. Leader of the People's National Congress Reform, David Granger, has fired back at party members who have publicly criticized him, declaring that internal elections are not won by destroying the party. Appearing in his weekly program, The Public Interest, Mr. Granger said there seems to be an attempt by a small group of persons within the People's National Congress to create an illusion that there is anger at the leader of the party, which he believes is an act that is destroying the party.
It is something to be condemned. I don't feel that it is in any way going to strengthen the party or it's going to strengthen politics in Guyana. And in my reading of PNC political history, those insurgencies have done a lot of damage. Right now, I don't discount the fact that there might be some opposition to me, but there is a legal framework. Congress will be held, and persons who are interested in competing for the leadership of the party, as long as they comply with the requirements, are free to compete. So let us keep it clean, let us keep it constitutional, and let the party continue to discharge its responsibility to those 218,000 people who voted for the party as part of the coalition.
In recent days, there have been statements and public commentaries from party members about Mr. Granger's leadership, with more and more districts of the party expressing their no confidence in Granger as the leader. Responding specifically to reports that two groups of the party have expressed their no confidence in his leadership, Granger said that may be a case of fake news.
Nobody can say what the texts of the motion, who moved them, and what were the discussions. Certainly, if it's directed against me, if it's a motion against me, at least I'm entitled to know what misconduct I'm being accused of. So I can't figure out what the game is. You don't win elections by dividing the party.
The PNC Reform leader also referred to a newspaper article that referenced that the party's Central Executive Committee discussed the no-confidence motions against him during a meeting last evening. He said that is untrue.
These are just, they might be fictions, but they're inventions of the media. So these days when you have fake news, you don't know what to believe, but people are planting these releases in the media, and the public believes it might be fact, but there's no fact.
According to Granger, the main contention seems to be that of the Congress not being held. He assured that a committee has been convened to look at the possibilities of hosting the party's Congress, and he noted that he has not delayed the hosting of the overdue party Congress. The Central Executive Committee of the PNC Reform has accused Granger of being a one-man show within the party, while claiming that he has been making decisions without the support of the executive and has gone against decisions that have been handed down by the party's executive. On the other side of the coalition, General Secretary of the Alliance for Change, David Patterson, today announced that the party is gearing up to host its biennial delegates Congress to elect new leadership. The last AFC Congress was held in July 2019 and was slated to be hosted at the end of this month. However, owing to the COVID-19 pandemic, the party is now planning a way to host the conference while ensuring the safety of its delegates.
What I can say categorically is that we will be having our national conference this year. There's no attempt from the leadership or any of the members to put it off any longer than is necessary. All our regions have been prepared and have been working towards the elections and our conference at this particular time. So the only difficulty, obviously, are the issues relating to COVID.
According to the AFC General Secretary, the party's national executive will be meeting in August. The party has seen an increase in the number of delegates for its Congress.
And these delegates are taken from both Guyana, in-country in Guyana, as well as the diaspora, which is Canada, USA, and UK. In addition to the 400-odd delegates, our national conference also allows observers. These are persons who, the delegates are the ones who are allowed to vote and to move motions, and they're representative of each region or each chapter. Observers obviously are members who are not delegates but have full access to the meeting, and they're only the only restriction is on voting time.
Since coming out of power as part of the APNU-AFC coalition, the Alliance for Change has seen a number of resignations from various party officials, but it is still moving forward.
So we are trying to find a method during these COVID times to host more than 400 persons. We've already taken a decision that the next conference will be for delegates only, but that's 400 persons. We have looked at options of a hybrid system whereby we would have some members being able to log on virtually.
At the last AFC conference, Mr. Kemarach Ramjatan was elected leader, while Raphael Trotman was elected chairman of the party. David Patterson was elected as the general secretary, while Cathy Hughes won a landslide victory for the party's vice president position. Party insiders believe Cathy Hughes may be the best pick at this time to take over the leadership of the Alliance for Change. In the courts now, former Best Cop Detective Corporal Derwin Eastman has been committed to stand a High Court trial for the murder of businessman Godfrey Sagasipio, while his co-accused Jameson Williams, who is also a policeman, walked free of the same charge. The two were charged back in 2017 for the murder of the businessman in Haiti. It is alleged that the two hired a hitman, Aubrey Bob, to carry out the act. The hitman had reportedly named Eastman as the mastermind of the hit. The businessman was coming out of a Kitty hotel in the company of a lady friend when he was attacked and shot at close range. There had been other attempts on his life. He was fingered in leading investigators to the recapture of some wanted men, and investigators suspect that may have been one of the reasons why he was executed. Today, Magistrate Fabio Azor ruled that a strong enough case has been made out against a police detective for him to stand a High Court trial, while accepting a no-case submission for the other accused. Almost 2 months after they were remanded to jail on cocaine trafficking charges, the two Brazilian pilots who were busted with that plane packed with cocaine have been granted bail in the sum of $3 million each. Back in May this year, the two men, Andre Pereira and Salem de Almazir, were arrested after they made an emergency landing in Oriala, and it was discovered that their small plane was ferrying more than 950 pounds of cocaine. Bail was granted yesterday when the men made another court appearance in Berbice. During the bus, police from the region were among the first to arrive on the scene of the emergency landing of the aircraft, and they found over 450 packets of cocaine. The two Brazilian men were immediately arrested and the plane with the illegal cargo confiscated. The men reportedly told investigators that they were forced to land in Guyana because of bad weather and low fuel.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Preparing for your NGSA exams is always a challenge. The Guyana Learning Channel is here to help. You can go to YouTube using your browser or your mobile device. Then search for the Guyana Learning Channel in the search bar. We're live streaming our NGSA booster videos all day and all night. If you want to study a specific subject or topic, you can go to our NGSA booster playlist. You can look at a specific subject, such as mathematics, and then look for a specific topic. Here, you can follow along with the lesson to prepare for your examination. Remember kids, study hard, and best of luck in your exams.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
What's our purpose? Together, we rise. For our community, our customer, and our country. Our promises: strengthen our community, reliably connect our customers, innovate for all in our country. Together, we rise.
Guyoil's Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyoil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive!
My name is Dr. Karen Cummings, a public health specialist and former minister within the Ministry of Public Health. I have taken my Sputnik V vaccine today. It was a very simple process. I encourage you to come and take your vaccine very soon so that we can contain this virus and have herd immunity in Guyana.
Across the region tonight, the sound of gunfire interrupted the funeral of the late Haitian President Jovenel Moïse, who was shot dead 2 weeks ago. The U.S. and other delegations left early after shooting rang out as the event got underway. Protesters blamed some of those at the service for the leader's death. Authorities accused foreign mercenaries of the killing, but questions about the attack remain. The president's widow, Martine, who was injured in the attack and treated in the hospital in the U.S., was at the funeral with 3 of her children. The president's coffin was carried by men in military uniform. It sat on a stage in a Haitian flag, surrounded by white flowers. A Roman Catholic priest blessed it. But even the funeral could not escape the unrest suffered by Haiti for so long. The BBC reported that protesters clashed with police outside the venue, and witnesses smelled tear gas at the ceremony, but it seems no one was hurt. Across in Barbados, the Minister of Health there, Jeffrey Bostic, says it's time to stop playing the vaccination waiting game and get vaccinated. He said Barbados had the finance to buy enough vaccines to inoculate everyone on the island, but citizens and residents needed to come forward and take whichever medicine was available at this time. The health minister said some Barbadians seemed reluctant to take the Chinese manufactured Sinopharm vaccine and were instead waiting to take the Pfizer, Moderna, and even Johnson & Johnson vaccines when they do become available in the island. Co-coordinator of the National Vaccine Program, Major David Clark, said as of yesterday, only 2,332 inoculations with the Sinopharm vaccine had been conducted since it was rolled out through the National Vaccination Program on the 13th of July, a daily average rate of just 233. In stark contrast, 16,000 Barbadians were vaccinated with the AstraZeneca vaccine in its first 10 days of availability back in February. And finally tonight, international news. At least 110 persons have been killed in landslides and flooding triggered by heavy rains in the western Indian state of Maharashtra. The rains overwhelmed hundreds of villages, sweeping houses and leaving residents stranded. Rescue crews have been racing to evacuate survivors, but many people are feared missing. The Indian military has been helping with the efforts, which have been hampered by difficult conditions. The western state has recorded its heaviest spell of July rain for decades. Many factors contribute to flooding, but experts say climate change caused by global warming makes extreme rainfall more likely. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight and this week. I'm Gordon Mosley, thanking you for joining us and encouraging you to stay safe.